Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. That's a quote by Christian mystic Howard Thurman. Welcome to the I Am the Possible podcast experience. The place where possibilities become perspective. Guys, welcome once again into the space, into the place. I am your host, Treveal C.W. Lynch, Mr. What? And I'm back. I'm back like never before. I'm back excited. I'm back full of life. I'm back full of passion. Because I get to talk about the thing I love to talk about the most. What makes you come alive? Are you alive today? Not just living, not just existing, but are you alive? Because what the world needs, like never before, are people who have come alive. Before we get into today's episode, before we get into today's experience, I want to thank you. Your presence is the greatest present that you guys could ever give me. Thank you. Let's get into this. Today, I'm talking to the person who is existing, but you are not living. You're breathing, but you are not alive. You're going through whatever you're going through. Your Christian walk, your Christian faith, your position on your job, your role within your family, whoever you are within your social circles, you name it, you frame it, you put it into your context. You are doing life below your privilege and your possibilities. You're just here, but you're not happy about it. You're just here. But there is no passion, no fire. The flame has sort of gone out in your life. Or perhaps there was never a flame to begin with. Today, I want to talk to the soul that's a little deflated. I want to talk to the person who is searching for, looking for, in need of life. You know, one of the things that my spiritual mentor, one of the questions he's always asked me when I was, and as I continue to, journey through life and make decisions on what's best for me, what aligns, what should I be doing, what should I be focused on? He always asks me this question: does it give you life? Does it give you life? Because what the world needs are people who have come alive. There is a life that is to be lived, a life that God provides, a life that goes beyond just existing, just being physically present. There is a spiritual awakening. There is a spiritual, an internal aliveness that is available to each and every one of us if we desire and decide that I'm going to live this thing called life. I'm not just going to be a part of it. I'm not just going to hang out on the sidelines. I'm going to live my life, even as Christ said, life to the fullness. The fullness of life. And so today I want to share with you a few things out of my meditative practice, sort of as a draw this analogy or this parallel. Okay. And I don't have my visuals with me this morning. I should have brought my visuals with me this morning, but You can use your imagination, okay? If you're listening, if you're watching on the tube, and you should be watching on the tube. And if you're not watching on the tube, start watching on the tube. Go to YouTube, type in I Am The Possible, all lowercase, no space. I Am The Possible. Find my YouTube channel, subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of each and every video and download or upload. Every time I drop something new, you'll be notified. Do that for me, all right? Become a part of the I Am The Possible universe and the I Am The Possible University. Get in on this, all right? Don't just listen to the podcast. Get in to the entire universe that I'm creating here, all right? So, one of the first things in meditation, and I've started meditating over the last, 10, 15 years or so. It's really done a lot for me, helped me to regulate emotionally and really it's a way to get present. It's a way to really gain more clarity in my life. It really helps me to really dial in and tap in to a given moment or to a given idea. Is just endless benefits to meditation. But one of the first things that you learn when it comes to meditation is you learn how to breathe. Okay. And so I'm going to demonstrate, right, 3 breaths. And I want you to take a notice of something. And then I'm going to highlight something if you didn't notice it. All right. So 3 breaths. Here we go. Did you notice something? Did you notice that with each breath, I needed to inhale before I could exhale? How many times have someone asked you to, hey, breathe with me? Or how many times have you just on your own breathed? You never exhale first. You always inhale first. Why? You can't exhale, aka you can't release, aka you can't give what you haven't first, aka received, aka gotten. You can't release what you haven't received. You can't give what you haven't gotten. You have to get it to give it. You have to receive it to release it. You have to inhale before you can exhale. As we say in the church, stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay? I'm going somewhere with this. I want to draw your attention to a few scriptures. The first scripture is out of Genesis chapter 2. All right? And I'm just paraphrasing, right? Just going off the dome. God formed the man from the dust of the earth, and the man was in form, humanity, mankind, Adam, man. He formed man from the dust of the earth. His body, our body was there. But then the Bible goes on to say that he blew the breath of life into man's nostrils, and he became a living being. Isn't that interesting? Our bodies, our form, our stature existed, but we did not yet live. It was only until we received God's breath of life into our nostrils that we then became a living, alive, full of life being. We were there, but we couldn't live until we received a breath. The Bible then says that God placed man in a specific location within the garden to cultivate it and keep watch over it. Isn't that interesting? Life came before labor. There was no labor until there was first life. And many of us are going through this thing called life, attempting to labor for God, for others, for ourselves. We're putting in work, we're hustling, we're grinding, output, output, output. And in one context, you are laboring, you are doing, you are living. But in another context, you're not truly living because you've not yet received the breath of life. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. Give me one more moment. I'll give you one more example, and then I'll wrap a nice little bow on this thing, and then I'll give you some steps to walk through, okay? The next thing in meditation that I learned, and this is a personal preference, this is not maybe universally applicable in meditation, something I like to do. I have a particular candle that I light, has a nice soft scent to it. And every time I light this candle, sometimes I'll just sit and I'll be present with the candle. It allows me to train my mind to focus and to give the flame dignity, to give the candle dignity. There's just a lot of inner work that I do with this candle, but it helps me to really, again, train my ability to think and to focus and to be still, and to be silent and to be present with life, with God. There's a lot of symbolism there. We as the light of the world, Jesus came as the light. There's just a lot of things that I do that matter to me in this moment. But this is what I want to draw your attention to. I have to light a match. And one thing that I've learned about matches, or about fire and flames of any kind, it needs oxygen. Did you know scientifically that you cannot light a match in a room that has no oxygen? The room, the space, it needs to have oxygen in order for the flame to either ignite or to sustain its light. It will either not ignite at all, or it will be snuffed out almost immediately if the room does not have oxygen in it. There's a certain chemical compound that happens when a match is lit, right? You strike that match against the side of that box, right? In that friction, oxygen has to accompany that, and with the oxygen and with the other chemical compounds, it allows the flame to not only be, but then to stay. It's a sustaining energy. It's a sustaining component to the fire, to the flame, to the match. Why do I share this? Some of us are going about church, ministry, life, family, work, day-to-day activities, laboring, trying to do life, trying to live, output, output, output. But we haven't received our oxygen. The flame is not sustained. You know where I'm going with this. Come on. I'm giving you some symbolisms and some symbolic isms, but you get my point. See, in order for the body to come alive, God had to breathe. Give it that wind, that air, that oxygen. God had to give us a life-sustaining component. And the fire, the flame that our lives are to represent Even as the Bible says, let your light so shine that the world may see your good deeds, your good works, and give praise on to the Father. Some of us are trying to do good deeds, trying to do good work, do good ministry, do good work on our jobs, do good work in our families, but our flame, our fire, our zeal, our spark, our passion, our tank is running on empty, if not already completely empty. Some of us are living in one context, but we have not yet come alive in the other context. And that's the context that I'm talking about. That's why the Christian mystic Howard Thurman said, don't ask what the world needs. Don't worry about what they need. You ask yourself, what makes you come alive? And go do it. For in doing so, you will let your light so shine. Others will see your good deeds and give praise on to the Father. And in doing so, you will feel alive, full of joy, full of happiness, full of peace, full of passion. You will feel like you are a part of this thing called life. You will feel like you're on the playing field of life. You're not sitting up in the stands. You're not on the sideline. You're not just existing. You're not just enduring. You're not just hanging out, but you are a player in the game of life. This is what it means to truly live. Are you alive? Have you come alive? And I believe that there are those of you out there today, you have not come alive because you have not found your oxygen. You have not found your flame. You have not found your fire. It's not being sustained. It was there for a moment and it was snuffed out. It was trying to come up for a moment and it was snuffed out because you thought you found it. You thought you had it, but it was really something from someone else, or you were trying to duplicate someone else's efforts, or you were trying to mimic somebody else's thing, or you were trying to do it like somebody else, and it felt good for a while, and you got a few results from it for a while, but then it all fizzled out because it was never your thing. You didn't find it yet. So today, I'm here to say, find your flame. Find your fire. What makes you come alive? And go and do it. Yeah. Because the world needs people who have come alive. The image that I get when people come alive is the image of a lit match. And if you take one match out, you light it, it receives its oxygen, its life-giving component, it's lit, you can hold it, you can take another match, which represents another life. You take that match out, and that match that's on fire, that's being sustained, it lights the other one. And then you can take that one, and you can take another match, and you can lean it over, and you can light another match, and so on and so on. And each one teach one, each one reach one, each one ignite one, each one catch one on fire, each one set another ablaze, each one inspire another. I believe that's a part of why Howard Thurman said that. Wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that make sense that the Christ giving his life as an example, a light in the world, blazed, sustained, lighting the fire of the disciples, and then saying, go out and be amongst others who are like little matches, who are waiting for their flames and their fires. We need examples of people who have authentically, genuinely come alive. I hope to be that. Some may say I am that. Have you found your flame? Have you found your fire? I've got 3 questions over here in my notes that I want to have you ask yourself in closing that are going to help you to identify your flame, your fire. It's time to get some life before our labor, so that our labor becomes a light in the lives of others. I've already asked you the first question. What gives you life? What gives you life? What makes you feel alive? What activity? What place? What space? What company? Where? Who? What thing do you do? What thing do you do that just, you lose yourself in it? Time flies by. What is that thing, man, that sets your soul on fire? You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Yes, you're going to be contributing to other people. Yes, you're going to be an inspiration to others. Yes, you're going to be a contribution to others, but you're going to also inspire yourself. You're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to feel good about the person that you're being. Isn't that what you really want? Don't you really want to be the person that you can be proud of? Isn't that what you really desire? Don't you really desire to wake up each day and be the person that you are proud of, the kind of person that you desire to be? Isn't that what you really want? Sure, you want money. Sure, you want nice things. Sure, you want some amenities in life. Sure, you want to travel and do some things in life. Sure, you want some dope experiences in life. But more than anything else, don't you really want to know that you know that you know in your heart of hearts that you are being the person that you are desiring most to be? So what is it? What gives you life? Number 2, what do you do that makes you feel closest to God? The thing that when you're doing it, you feel like you are in God's direct presence. That you might even be giving God the greatest pleasure and joy as God watches you and engage and enjoy that activity. Where do you feel most connected to God? Question number 3. When have you felt most alive, energized, and at peace? Where you felt, or you had a moment where you said to yourself, wow, I'm doing exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. Maybe you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. Maybe you can't see too far down the road. But when you do this one thing, you're saying, like, you either said it audibly or just in your heart. You just kind of had one of those moments where you were like, wow, this is what I was created to do. What I've discovered is we've all had those moments. We've either given some attention to it or we've tried to suppress it because we didn't believe in ourselves or some, self-doubt creeped in. But I believe that each of us have had those moments. We may not have used these exact words, but we've had these moments where we've said to ourselves, man, this is what I was created to do. What is that for you? And then question number 4. If you had no fear of failure and you didn't need anyone's approval, what would you spend your time doing? To serve God, to serve others, to serve humanity? How would you contribute? What cause would you support? Is it a nonprofit? Is it some sort of organization? Is it a church? Is it a company, a business? Is it something that you've started yourself? Is it a local, shelter, some sort of volunteer effort, community outreach, or just, again, I'm just throwing stuff out there. You know what it is for you, but how, if you didn't need anyone's approval, you didn't need any green light, you didn't need no money, you were good. And you could just wake up and your day is your day. Where would you be contributing? These are clues. These are breadcrumbs to what it is that gives you life, to those things that represent the oxygen, to your flame, that represents the breath of life, to your formed body. As I close, one thing that I've discovered in some ways as a father, as a husband, as a leader, not 100%, but in some ways, many ways, actually, let me say many ways, I have observed many times. I've observed and had the privilege of being able to reflect on and be aware of the fact that people listen more with their eyes than they do with their ears. And what I mean by that is people listen to or follow what they see more than what you say. The days of do as I say, not as I do, those days are over. This generation ain't having it. I don't know if anybody's having it. People are looking for authenticity, integrity, character. Trust levels are low. So people are looking at your example now more than ever. Whether it's social media, whether it's at church, whether it's on your job, whether it's in your home, whether it's within your community, people are looking at what you do. And there is something to be said about the fact that people can feel, people can learn, people can extract, people can see and observe, people can learn most, even best, by observing what you're doing. Not just the literal work, but the life in which you do the work that you do. Showing up for church, for ministry, and the ministry that you do, when it doesn't give you life, people see that. On your job, when you show up for work, and the work that you do, it doesn't give you life, People can see that. When you're in your home, with your spouse, with your children, and you fulfilling your role and responsibilities within that family structure, and it's not life-giving for you, they see it. They feel it. They're picking up on it. People listen and people learn more often, even better, with their eyes than they do with their ears. If we're going to let our light so shine, we better find what's going to keep our light lit. That is that sustaining breath. That is that sustaining oxygen. Let's come alive. Let's come alive. If you need help with this, sounds great, sounds good, but you don't know where to start. You don't know how to start. You desire this. You want this. But you're like, Treveal, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to get this started. I don't know how to implement this in my life, man. Then I would love to work with you. I'm a certified life coach, and I would love to work with you. There's a link below this video. Click it. Let's schedule some time. I would love to come alongside you, coach you, mentor you, support you. This is what I do. This is my fire. This is my flame. This is my passion. To see you be all that is possible for you to be. So that's something that you're interested in. Let's get together. All right. That's it, guys. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. I believe in you guys. Until next time, this is Treveal C.W. Lynch. Mr. What? This is the I Am the Possible podcast experience. The place where possibilities become perspective. Guys, until next time, remember, perspective is power. The power to move you into all that is possible for your life.